What is up, everybody? How are we doing? This chat is the most active I've seen in my entire streaming career, even when I was streaming gaming. That crap was dead like 24/7 unless I started doing a Bible reading. Those were lit. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing as well as I am. Now, I actually only have 3 things to touch on, but I'm going to go in a little bit more detailed, holy voice crack, than I normally do, because we have more time and less things to touch on. So, first thing is, will the River Cats set the pace and keep the Harrisburg Senators on their heels? The River Cats can't win if they don't do the thing the River Cats do best and apply sustained pressure. Sorry, I had to cough there. But they can't win. They simply can't if they don't apply sustained pressure and take control of the game and get the ball just in the crease. They don't even need to get good shots. They just need to get a lot of shots and get pressure on their goalie, St. Peter. Of course, like Woohoo64 said, St. Peter just got to clear it, honestly. And that's a big thing for everyone in this league. You can't have any sustained pressure get gained on you. Otherwise, it's going to be terrible. Ask the Knoxville Smokies yesterday. They got wailed on because they had no offensive zone time of their own. The best they got was in the neutral zone, and they got a shot and somehow scored off of that. Sometimes goals like that just go in. My next point is, will the Senators have the answer for Worm? Worm, he is the least flashy player in the league. He's not a player you would want to aspire to be like if you're a young player looking to get into this, a young bot looking to get in this league. He just plays very clean. I would technically consider him a grinder, but that's besides the point. He plays really nice. Do they have the answer for him? He gets in those soft spots. He knows how to play good ball. Elite ball knowledge, truly. Can they stop him? Can they, again, it just comes down to will they get it out of the zone, or will they just let the River Cats wail on them? These are the 2 undefeated teams left in the league, so this is going to be a big game. I'm excited for it. Hope y'all are. But that means it's going to be competitive. There's going to be a lot of contact. There's going to be a lot of just roughness in the corners. I can't speak. But that's what's going to happen. Just be prepared for that. In my last note I want to touch on is, can the Senators stay consistent? It has been a nightmare for most teams in this league to stay consistent half the dang time. They can't stay consistent for the life of them. That's just how it works sometimes. Sometimes you'll have great games, sometimes you'll have bad games. It's still good for growth if you're going up in the standings, of course, but I think the Harrisburg Senators have done a pretty good job of staying consistent here. And can they keep that up against arguably the most pressuring team in the league? Staying consistent and not cracking under pressure would be a big sign that this team wants to play. You can already see from the first 2 games, but they haven't had necessarily the greatest competition. It's been the 2 worst teams in the league. Now, of course, it's not to knock either the Bison or the Aviators. They can still come back and be absolutely amazing. Who am I? The Aviators just signed a new player called Moth. I'm excited to see him play. But 5 seconds till kickoff here. That counter's actually inaccurate. It's just when they start getting on the field. I should definitely change that because that annoys me. And I know it annoys y'all who have to watch me suffer through this. Well, they're heading out on the field now. These guys are known to be fast on the kickoff. As in, like, they don't dilly-dally. But let's get this going. Heading out now. Of course, I don't have any cameras on this, sadly, so I can't show y'all. And here we go. Kickoff looming here. I gotta change the volume on this. I don't know what... Oh, wait, no, never mind. Minor technical difficulties here, but we're off. Well, technically, now we're off. I don't know what's going on with that flower over there. River Cats just have half a flower, I guess, but we're off from Sacramento. This does not look like Sacramento. I don't know how the heck they found this place here. Immediately cross crease pass and denied. Here comes relief bot. Immediately on that ball. Again, that sustained pressure we talked about pre-game. They want to get that. Even if they can't really get anything off of it just yet, that's going to put pressure on the Senators. Here's a shot by Formula, and he's going to score off of that immediately. Just a breakaway. Didn't really break the ankles of anybody, but the top-end speed in the league of Formula there. Just kind of lobs it into the net. Nobody's there. Clean that one up. Easy 1-0. Now you're just going to see Harrisburg playing defensive. Kick off here. Kamel's going to immediately kick it in their zone. Cross crease pass. St. Peter's going to get that one out. Worm's going to go right back to it. Formula. Trying to use his top end speed once again. Again, well, not again, but he gets demoed. His relief bot. Kamel probably one of the fast players in this league. Hopefully that she can kick it up today and really push the pace of this. Here's Worm. Cross crease pass off the wall. Kamel shot goes left wide. Comes relief bot. Putting the pressure on Harrisburg here. Can't get the air. Doesn't have enough air on that. St. Peter clearing it. Worm's got it. Ball backing up the ball. Here's Formula. Getting it out of the Harrisburg zone. Finally, they say. Here comes Moulton. St. Peter going to try and clear it once more, but Kamel's going to be on that, hounding the ball with an aerial. St. Peter's going to save that one, however. Kamel trying to go right back to it. Formula's going to kick that one out. St. Peter's going to possess the ball in his own zone. That gets contested by Worm. There's a shot scored by relief bot. Over the double touch, I presume. I wasn't really looking. I was instead looking at stats of the beautiful pass from Kamel. Just a tap in. Beautiful goal. Again, when we talked about consistency, and now it's 1-to-1. Just a beautiful pass from Kamel. Again, off that offensive pressure. And you can see them struggling a bit. They've really had no offensive zone pressure as they kick it out again. And just set out right there. Here comes Moulton. Moulton trying to get it out of the Harrisburg zone. Backstretch battle. There's Kamel. St. Peter denies that. Challenges the ball. Gets it done. There's relief bot trying to pass it into the crease again. Sustained pressure. We talked about all pregame. Here's a shot. Score off the post! Goodness gracious. Off that beautiful pass from Worm. They keep passing it off the backboard. Alley-oop play like in basketball. And then a beautiful post shot. And St. Peter can't save that one. He can't do everything for this Harrisburg team. He is going to get it out of his zone for once, though, off the face-off. 50-50 won by relief bot. It's going to be sent into the Senator zone once again. Going to clear it, but it goes right into relief bot. There's a cross up. St. Peter's going to get that out. Once again, can they get another controlled zone entry? Relief bot's going to say no, as he does all the time. Comes a shot scored from the River Cats. Worm getting those soft spots once again. Played physical to get relief bot out of there. They didn't pay attention to Worm, though. All three players were trying to shove relief bot out of there. There's Formula on the ball in the Harrisburg zone. They're trying to get it out. Just not enough. The pressure. Controlled pressure is what every team needs, and the River Cats played that perfectly. There's a shot! Scored! Off of the dribble! Took away the ball and used it for his own good. St. Peter tried to dribble it out. Off the crease pass again. Too much pressure in their zone. And the Senators are having an awful time trying to get it out every single time. They can't do it controlled. So it ends up getting taken away and used for the River Cats gain. Here's Camille. Gonna get blocked by Molten. Here's Worm with it now. As we talked about, beautiful zones, zone entries, as we see again from the River Cats. Really stacking on the pressure. Nobody there for the Senators. He's going to try and get a zone entry. St. Peter in the corner gets denied by Worm off the 50-50. Here they come. Everyone's whiffing. Shot by Camille. Scored once again. Not a good play. They're stacking on the pressure on a bar down snipe from Camille, even if it wasn't much of a snipe, just kind of a tap in and it went bar down. But beautiful, seizing the opportunity from Camille. It's 5-1. Here's a shot. Cross crease pass, not a shot. The Senators got to get it out here. Here's a shot. They're trying to go it again. They can't get it. St. Peter again with the aerial. In the Harrisburg zone now. Backing up on the ball. Pretty much the only good zone entry they've had the entire game. They can't get any pressure though. Here's Molten. He's going to save that off the backboard. Demo by Relief Bot. I told y'all they're going to play physical. It's going to get rickety, especially in the later stages. We're halfway through. St. Peter trying to wait for the perfect opportunity to clear that, but can't. Gets challenged by Camille. Here's Camille trying to take a shot again. St. Peter's going to save that. Here's Camille with it now. Trying to enter the zone. Formler's trying to deny that. Can't. Physical play by St. Peter. Controlled zone entry from the Senators. Relief Bot's going to challenge that. Camille's going to try and get it out. Here's a shot! Scored by Camille! Once again, hat trick! See that? Just beautiful play. Getting that in. 7 shots for Camille tonight. Here's Formula. Can't match Camille's pace. It's in their zone once again. Cross for his pass. Here's Relief Bot. St. Peter's going to get that out of the danger area. I can't speak. Here's Camille. Molten's going to kick it out. Over to the middle of the zone. Camille immediately playing in the middle of the field. Relief Bot once more. He's getting it up. Shot! It's going to go off the backboard just slightly. Formula blocking out Camille. Here's Relief Bot. Trying to make a play. St. Peter trying to get it out. Camille's going to deny that dangerous opportunity to get it off the backboard once this entire game. Here's Relief Bot with a shot! Save! Not a save! Relief Bot scored! That was a narrow save! Got off the nose! I thought that was going to be a save. You can look at St. Peter's point of view. He just didn't get all of it. Went into the bar. Face off by St. Peter. Here's Camille. Over to Molten. Wilton's going to try and cook with it. Can't. Overcooked it even. St. Peter, the zone entry. Kamale's going to back it up for him. There's a relief bot with it now. Going to go off the backboard. Kamale's going to try and get a shot. Formula saves that one. Relief bot. Kamale kicking it into the sidelines here. Playing physical with it. Oh, I see Worm with it now. St. Peter's trying to get a shot. It's off the post. What can they do with it here? Kamale's gonna deny that opportunity to get it out of danger here. Moulton making a physical play against Worm. Here comes Relief Bot. Comes Kamale. They're applying more zone pressure, that's good. But Worm's gonna try and get a shot. Here's a save by Moulton. Relief gonna send it right back. Off the bar! Once again, here he comes. St. Peter's gonna get that out of danger zone for the time being. Comes Formula. 50-50, won by Kamale. Gonna send it into the Harrisburg's corner once again. Here's Kamale. Aerial. Here's a save by St. Peter once again! Worm with it. Here's Kamale. Making the wall play. Gonna get denied by Formula. And try and kick it in. Worm's gonna immediately kick it to the corner again. Over to Relief Bot. Trying to make one last drive here. 7-1. Formula. Kicking it to the goal. That's going to get denied by Relief Bot. There's a shot! One more to put it away. Worm's going to deny that. 10 seconds remaining. Kamale. That was the quietest ending I've ever heard in my life. GG's. Your final score! Sacramento Rivercats 7 and Harrisburg Senators 1. And that's going to be all tonight, folks. The Sacramento Rivercats will be the only undefeated team left in this league. Everyone else has fallen at least once. And that's going to be one heck of a way to put a statement to the rest of the league. Holy goodness. I have to enter this replay real quick. That's our home opener. They don't actually have any fans in attendance. Too hard to get over there. Finally, the luscious parts of Sacramento. But that was an insane game. GG's. I think, to put it away simply, Harrisburg didn't play good. They tried, they played better than Knoxville on Monday. They had way more controlled clearage, but that's not going to get you anywhere if you can't get it into the zone and score. St. Peter's doing a good job on his end, but you can't do much when you're getting tackled by the best core in the league. But that's going to be all for tonight, folks. It's probably the shortest stream we've had. Actually, I don't think we've definitely had shorter streams. Thank you all for coming out. This has been the RLBA. Always remember, Jesus loves you. And I'll see you on Thursday for the Buffalo Bison playing the Las Vegas Aviators in the so-called Toilet Bowl. That's what I'm dubbing it. The two worst teams going against each other, that will be called the Toilet Bowl. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Good night. Always remember,